the most powerful manifestation technique is alignment. Dun, dun, dun. And if I wasn't dramatic, if I wasn't being theatrical, would you believe me? Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it doesn't apply, then that means it's not aligned, which means it's not for you, so don't force it. As well as grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. For today's video, we're going to go over and discuss the most powerful manifestation techniques, as well as some recommendations, some reminders, some disclaimers, and just certain things that you need to be aware of. And for some reason, you guys, it's giving Crocker from off of The Fairly Odd Parents. But anyways, the number one thing that you need to be aware of when it comes to manifestation is, you have your pen and your paper and your notes? Alignment. Eventually, yes, I would like to invest into theatrics and editing and having all these slides and these sounds pop up. But right now, I'm going to use what I have. But all to y'all shade, what nobody's telling you is that you have to be in a line. Because in order to experience your manifestations, you have to create them, number one. And you have to experience them, number two. Which leads us into number three, receiving. You cannot receive something if you did not create it, if you did not experience it, and you have not aligned yourself with it. So the second disclaimer when it comes to manifestation is that there's no limit. You have to be okay with thinking greater than what you may see or what you may feel. This doesn't make you delusional. This doesn't make it impossible. This doesn't make it incapable. Doesn't make it difficult. Doesn't even make it challenging or hard. It's just, if you want things that you've never witnessed before, how else would you have known about it? How else would you have the opportunity to experience it or want it for yourself? Like, you are influenced. It is okay to see people and be inspired and motivated from them. So examples of manifestation could be financially being stable, by financially being literate, healing yourself from generational poverty, no longer surrounding yourself living paycheck to paycheck, starting a business. Your manifestations could be being the first person to get your degree, go to school, further your education. Yes, you see other people do it, so you need to know it's a possibilities, but just because it may not be familiar to you in your past doesn't mean that you can't experience it in life. Like, you have to be okay with opening up your mind and being capable of new experiences in life and creating new realities. Because if you don't have it, you have to create it. And that's what manifestation is. It's a mindset, it's a reality, it's an experience that you want, basically just a desire. So it's not impossible, but you have to know, like, if you're not used to doing certain things, you have to be okay with that. And that leads us into the third disclaimer. You have to know that if you're going to manifest, you're going to have faith. You're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to believe in yourself, and you're going to have to surround yourself with people who have the same mindset. You cannot surround yourself with people who don't believe in furthering their education or furthering their finances or investing into themselves or wanting more. It's not going to work. You cannot manifest financial literacy if you're continuing to surround yourself in poverty. Or you cannot manifest a healthy relationship if you continue to focus on the toxic ways and the toxic behaviors and the toxic patterns that you've had. You can acknowledge them for what they were. You can accept them for what they were. You can come up with solutions, change them. But until you understand and you make a decision and you're intentional about who you surround yourself with, what you watch, what you engage with, it'll just be an idea and it'll just be a thought. And that's the fifth and final disclaimer before we get into the recommendations. It's one thing to talk about what it is that you want to do. You have to put in the work. You have to have the energy. You have to be where you need to be. If it's not handed to you in life, and if it's not a blessing, and that's where people get things confused. I'm not going to go too deep into the rabbit hole into that. For those of you who are spiritual and religious, blessings do just come. A manifestation, a lot of times, is when you have control over it. So for example, you can manifest you getting a degree. A blessing is if sometimes you, let's just say, are out to eat and you forget your wallet at work, and somebody at the restaurant or where you go out to eat comes up to you and decides and says, I want to pay for you. Or like if you're in a drive-through and you're behind a car and the person in front of you was like, I'm gonna pay for the person behind me. Like, those are different. But to talk about manifestations, let's get into it. So the first recommendation, alignment, is figuring out what you want. You cannot manifest until you know what it is that you want. So on your notes, in your comment section, and whenever you have the chance, I need you to figure out what it is that you want. And when I say what you want, I need you to be specific. So if you want a car, I need the make, I need the model, I need the year, I need the rims, I need the color, I need the interior. I need all of those things. I even need to know if it is, did I already say make and model? Like, what's the type? Is it SUV? Is it a coupe? Is it a hatchback? Like, what is it? And where are you purchasing this car from? What dealership? What lot? What location? What city? How are you gonna get there? Like, there are steps into manifestations. So let's start here. Figure out what you want. Number two, I need you to figure out why you want what you want. The reason why a lot of you are not in alignment is because you don't know why you want it. You say, oh, I want a car. Well, why do you want a car? If your reason isn't stronger than the reason on why you want it, you're not going to put the effort and the energy towards to get it. And like I said in life, if it's not blessings or if things are not handed to you in life, how would you get it? If you don't have the finances to get a car, but you want a car and you don't know why, which would be because you're tired of taking public transportation or you're tired of relying on other people, then you're not going to show up when things don't happen when you want them to, which we're going to talk about too, without getting too far into the video. But it's like, you need to know why, because that's the issue. People say they want to manifest things, so they have what they want, they know what they want, but they don't know why. And that leads us into the third recommendation. Figure out what you need to do so you could get ahead. Manifestations don't have to be cliche or impossible. They could be very much so practical and realistic. If you want a car and you know you want a car, like I said, you gave your reason and you know what you want, why would you not take the time, energy, and effort to align yourself with it? Because that's the only way you're going to get it. If it's not handed to you or if it's a blessing. You have to align yourself in order for you to receive the car that you work towards or that you pray towards. If it's not going to be handed to you or if it's not given to you. That's what a manifestation is. It's just you having this idea, you having this reality, you having this emotion, you just having this energy and wanting it to be returned back to you. Because it's a reflection. It will bounce off if it's in alignment with you. And that's why it's so important that when you're manifesting, you are being honest with yourself, which is the fourth recommendation. A lot of times people say, and this is why people get stuck with the first recommendation, you cannot say you want something if you know, one, you're not willing to put the time, energy, and effort. Two, you don't have a real reason on why you're doing it. Three, you're not willing to try when things are not figured out or when things are not working when you want them to. And most importantly, you can't sustain it. What is the purpose of you manifesting a car because you're taking public transportation, and when you get the car, you can't properly take care of it, or you can't invest into it, or it breaks down, or you have to sell it, and now you're back to square one? What was the point? This is why sometimes too, when we're manifesting things, the fourth reason, is really important that when you figure out what you want, you don't know like immediately, unless you're somebody who is quick to action, like you react immediately once you know you have a task to do. If you're somebody who struggles with moving or procrastination, you need to take your time to figure out what it is that you want and why you want it and how honest you are. Because it's like, fifth, you need to know what comes with the manifestation. You see, everything in life, as people like to say, has pros and cons, good and bads, the ins and outs. I personally don't want to say cons or bads, but for the fine print, the detail before you sign that contract, you need to know, well, what are the obligations? What are the tasks? What are the requirements? What do I need in order for me to get this car? And what comes with me owning a car, whether it's your first car, a luxury car, or a used car. And I know from experience, because I've had multiple cars, okay? When you get a car, you're gonna get registration. You gotta get title for your license plates. You know, you gotta go, first of all, you need a license. So let's start there. Before you buy a car, you're gonna need a license. Like, legally. We do things legally. Now, if you do things illegally, that's your business and that's between you and God. But it's like, you need a license, you need to go to driving schools, you have to go to the DMV, you have to register your car, you have to get title, then you need to get insurance. A lot of times, like when I bought my first car, because I've never had a car, no, I've been privileged, I had to have insurance. Then you need the money to have the car. So cashier's check, cash. I'm pretty sure they have like payment options. I don't work at the car dealership, don't ask me. I'm just giving you guys an example, but I've bought a car, so I know in real time. There are certain things that come with it. Then afterwards, once I purchased the car, I had to put gas in the car. And I talk about being in a car accident, I take my time washing the car, detailing the car. At a certain level of mileage, I had to get oil changes. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with our manifestations. And it's really important that you know what it is and what's up in the cut. So therefore, you're not surprised. Because that's what nobody tells you about manifestation. If you're doing what you need to do and you're in alignment, everything will work out for you. It's when you're not in alignment, it's when you're not honest, and it's not for you that your manifestations don't come into reality. But it's like, once you figure out what you want, you can be honest with yourself, and then you figure out what you need to do and what you're able to do. When it's meant to receive and when it's meant to show up, it will. And if it doesn't, it just may not be for you, and that's fine. Because a lot of times in life, you're gonna change your mind. So you may start it off with wanting a specific car, then you get the car, you may have outgrown it. It's okay. Manifestations is not a one size fit all. It doesn't have to be limited, and there are multiple ways, like I said, to receive, but those are just the main. So whatever questions, comments, and concerns in this video resonate with you, let me know down below. What are your manifestations? What have you been doing to manifest? What are some recommendations that you can advise to anybody watching this in the comment section? Follow me on all my social media platforms. All the information is down in the description box below. But if you're interested in a part 2 or a series or playlist, let me know. If not, follow me on my Instagram and on TikTok. I will be going live talking about this in real time. Or if you're interested in the service and you need like a more one-on-one intimate vibe, click the description down below and we can give you like the real knit and grits of manifestation and how it shows up in your life and how you do it naturally, automatically every day. But I love you. You are loved. You're not alone. Thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.